Yes, it's time to talk about arpeggios. Arpeggios are a key element to my playing. When I'm improvising, I'm thinking a lot about chords. I'm getting a lot of ideas from chords. To me, a scale is something that ties the chords together rather than a goal on its own. I think that's a big reason why sometimes improvising can sound so random and uninspired, because people just play scales up and down. And scale without a context or a fundament is pretty meaningless. And a note without reason or meaning, why would you even bother playing it at all? So, that's why incorporating some harmony, which is basically the arpeggio, the chord, in between some melody, which is the scale, is a good idea to make it sound a little bit more coherent. So I'm going to teach you this with a basic 1-4 chord progression in the key of E. So E, the 1 chord, the tonic, and the 4, the A chord or the subdominant. Plagal cadence, by the way. E major, A major. So the E major will just be played as an E major chord, nothing in there, and the A will be played with an arpeggio to make it a little more interesting and cool. Here's my approach to arpeggios. So let's play an E. And now I want to use an arpeggio. So I can start playing an arpeggio in this position, an open A chord. And an arpeggio is just a broken chord, so I can just play all the notes from the A chord after each other, right? Yeah, but that's not really the way most people use arpeggios, and especially not me. I try to find the notes and tie different patterns together. So the open A string is a good starting point, that's an A. The next note of the arpeggio is the third from the chord, A, C sharp. The 1, the 3 and the 5 from the chord. So it's fret 4 on the A string. And then fret 2 on the D string. This is the first octave of the A major arpeggio. And then followed by fret 2 on the G string. So we're basically still outlining the chord. So we're just adding the C sharp over here, fret 4 on the A string. And now I'm sliding up from fret 2 on the G string to fret 6 on the G string. But why do I go to fret 6? Well, have you seen the caged lesson I did about the caged system? If you haven't, you should check this out if you still don't know what it is. But this is an A chord, but the next A chord could be probably at fret 5 over here. So this is also an A chord, played on the 5th position as an E shape. You don't have to know all these shapes by name, of course, but if you know that this is an A chord, you're gold. So fret 6, you see, just a part of the chord, 6, and then I just finished the arpeggio, 5 on the B string and 5 on the E string. So I made that's my arpeggio, and it's a diagonal arpeggio. We're not staying in one position, we're moving it up the neck, which creates a longer pattern, which is always more interesting than just only down. You can even add fret 9 on the first string. So if you play it in the cadence, so if you're watching this and you think it's a nice video, click the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because you can see my future videos as well. Let's continue. A key thing to understand about arpeggios is just the same notes over and over again. The 1 from the chord, the 3 from the chord, and the 5 from the chord. It's just how a major chord is built. I discuss these topics in my music theory playlist all the time, so check it out if you don't know what it is. But it's just 1, 3, 5. That's basically it. But what if you want to start at this point? We can do the same. So you're opening up the entire fretboard, which is pretty awesome. You're starting at fret 5, so this is your A chord. The next A chord on the neck is a D shape. So over here, 9 on the E string, 10 on the B string, 9 on the G string. You can add fret 11 on the D string as well, like this. So, how can we move up? Well, I start at this chord. 1, we slide up to the 3rd again, so fret 5 to fret 9, to fret 7 on the A string. 3, 5, remember? And I'm getting to the octave, fret 7 on the D string. From this note I'm sliding up again to the third, over here. And then you see it lying over here, the D shape. And this is also from the C shape, by the way, like this. 12 on the A string, 11 on the D string, 9 on the G string. B, 10, E, 9. We're basically moving from the E shape over here to the C shape over here. And this is how I do it. On the first string you can play 9 and 12 again. So this is up. And you can play it down as well. So to put it in a musical context, so another thing you could do is add notes to the arpeggio. So now we're just playing 1, 3, 5, but you can add a 2 as well, basically creating an add 9 chord. So in this case an A add 9. So the 9th note is a B, one whole tone above the root note. So 5, 7, slide up to 9, and then to the 5th, and repeat that pattern. Landing on fret 12 on the high E string. So 5, 7, 9 to 7 on the A string, then to the D string, 7, 9, 11 to 9 on the G string, and then from fret 10 on the B string, 10, 12, 14, 12 on the high E string. So think in octaves. That's really a key element to getting all the arpeggios down quickly. Think in octaves. So octave 1, octave 2, octave 3. So now you can really play with the shapes. You don't see it as one big fixed thing. No, there are all these shapes lying around and you can just pick whatever you want. You can combine them, it's modular. It's not one fixed thing. So that's a very cool way. So you can do it up and down. So another cool thing you can do is try to create major 7th chords. And the major 7th is an added note to the major chord, and it's a half step below the root note. So the A, half step, 1 fret down, there you have the major 7th. So let's start at this A over here. This is the root note. If we drop it a half step, we go to fret 11. So if we now continue the arpeggio, let's just start at the major 7. So 11 on the A string, to fret 12 on the A string, to fret 11 on the D string, the 3rd, to fret 14 on the D string. And now we play the 7th again, the major 7th, which is fret 13 on the G string, followed by fret 14 on the G string. So fret 14 on the B string, the 3rd again, fret 12 on the high E string, fret 16 on the high E string, again the major 7th, followed by the octave of the root, fret 17 on the high E string. So now we jump positions too. As you can see, we started at position 11 and we ended on position 14 over here. So you can play it up and down. Very beautiful, and just see it again, see it lying in octaves. You can also play an A minor shape. If you just lower the 3, the 3rd by 1 semitone, so major, minor. So now it's easy to a next step to just mix up the chords. We played a major 7th with a major 7th in the chord, but if you play a dominant 7th, so a 7th chord, A7 for example, just lower that major 7th again a semitone. So if you start on the root note, this is the 7th, the minor 7th interval. So 10, 12, 11, 14 on D, and then 12, 14 on G, 14 on B, 12 on E, and then again the minor 7, fret 5, 15 on the high E string. Great for blues. Alright, and there's so much you can do with the diagonal approach. It really unlocks the fretboard, really, if you see them lying around all over the neck. And I love arpeggios. The sound to me is more inspiring, much more context, much more information. You perceive it as hearing a chord, the same way as you play an A major. But then, it just sounds beautiful and intriguing to me. That's the story about arpeggios. I hope you like this. The tabs for the intro I was playing are available at my Patreon page, so you can go there if you want to support me and check it out. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, leave your comment, share it with all your friends. Really appreciate it. Have a great day and see you next time. Cheers.